Happy Tuesday, everybody. Here we are. I'm just going to make this really quickly, but if you do have questions, as always, drop them below. Sometimes they do not show up, so I will answer them as quickly as I can, and if it does not pop up, I will come back and I will comment. I promise you I will answer your questions. So today we want to talk about the 3 best tips to securing a better and happier and more successful real estate transaction, whether you're buying or selling in this absolutely crazy seller's market. So tip number 1, you need to set and hire a team of professionals that you feel comfortable with. Now, this means your realtor, your mortgage lender, your home inspector, whomever you want to be a part of your transaction. You need to make sure you feel comfortable with these people, because here's why. The number one thing that I hear from clients the second time around is that they didn't feel comfortable with this group of people the first time around, and they didn't get the questions answered or even asked them that were very confusing or boggling their mind. So it's important. It is so key to work with a group of professionals that you feel comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable asking your realtor a question or reaching out to them just to ask them to show you this house because it's meeting all your criteria and you're scared you're going to miss it, they're not the person for you. Move on. Pick someone you feel comfortable with that you know is going to get the job done and is very professional. So that brings us to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is very simple. Gather your documents. Okay, so there's been some recent, I've seen people in these like little groups comment this, that when you're a first-time home buyer, you don't need to gather necessarily 3 years worth of tax returns, that you only need to gather 2. Well, that is not true. I personally, after I keep seeing this misinformation, I'm thinking, okay, Jen, do you have this wrong somewhere? I knew I didn't, but I wanted to make sure so that I make sure that I'm giving the best service possible and the most factual information. So I called South Dakota Housing and I asked them the requirements, and yes, it is 3 years of tax returns. And the reason for that is so that they can verify that you have not owned a residential property in that last 3 years time frame. Okay? So don't let anybody fool you. You got to have 3 years worth of tax returns. Now, there might be a way around that by filling out a specific document, but at some point you're still going to have to show it anyway. So get it together. So gather all of your documents. That means 3 years worth of tax returns, just like we talked about. Your last 30 to 60 days worth of pay stubs, your W-2s from those last 3 years worth of tax returns, okay? Your last 60 days worth of bank statements. Any account that has your name on it, like if you have an IRA or any type of account where you could potentially earn money. If you have child support, have that letter ready. Any account where you could potentially earn interest, money, etc. for the year, you need to be able to have that ready to give to your lender, okay? Very simple. So if you have questions about that, let me know. The biggest one on that is that you do need to prepare yourself if you are a first-time home buyer with that 3 years worth of tax returns. I called South Dakota Housing. You need 3, just like I knew. So remember that. Sometimes they're hard to find, so that helps you be more prepared and it's less stressful because you're not digging items out, okay? Tip number 3. This is very simple. Set your criteria. Know where you want to live. If you have a specific side of town, if you're looking in the city, or if you have a specific small town outside of the city, or you know exactly where you want to live. If there's a specific neighborhood, narrow it down. It's going to benefit you, and it's going to allow the professionals that you teamed with to really narrow down that experience for you and ultimately find you exactly what you want, okay? So set your criteria. Number 1, location. 2, budget. You don't have to go to the top of your budget. If there's a price in mind that you are comfortable making a mortgage payment for every month, set that up. Know which price range that is. Talk with your lender, talk with your realtor. Do not look outside of that. And then move on to setting the criteria for what you want in a home, whether you want an acreage or you want a small single-family home that's maybe a ranch with a fenced backyard and a big garage. Set those items last. And do not stray from them, okay? That is the biggest tips I can give for you. So if you have any more questions about any of these tips I gave today, or any questions about the process, do not hesitate to drop your comment below or hit the follow button because I give tips every day and I'll be happy to help you and answer your questions. Okay, you guys have a fabulous rest of your day. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I'm here if you need me. Have a great day, guys.